Right, hopefully that set everything off and we're good to go. Yep, that actually means that we're actually live. The notification has gone out early. Alright, so hello everyone that's going to join us watching for Sprint. Hungary and Mexico today. Let's see how much carnage is going to happen. Yeah, Hungary and Mexico. We're just going through about the midpoint of the season. Couple of races into the second half of the season now, I think. Or might just be about to go into that period of time. But yeah, it should be getting going sooner rather than later. Shouldn't take us too long from this point onwards. We'll get 18 laps of Hungary, and then I think it's 17 laps of Mexico. It should be about like 31 laps total over the night. No qualifying on either event, so everything should be good. Alright, we're getting going. 15 people in the lobby. So, Hungary first and Mexico second. No qualifying, so it'll just be straight into the race. The strategy will still be normal. Your soft mediums will be the only tyres getting used on both races today. Just a real case of how much carnage is going to be involved in these races. Honestly, Hungary's not usually one for overtakes. Let's say that much. You only usually have the first corner of the lap as an overtaking opportunity. Right. We are loading in. Everyone's got to pick up their setups and so forth and so forth. But we're waiting on that to happen before we get going in this race. Hello, DDK. How are you doing today, DDK? Oh, that sounds promising. What's up? That's not good. That's the response for to the question I just asked. All right, Hungary and Mexico. Everyone taking a bit of time here for their setups and a little bit more than normal. Here we go. There's 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go. So Wicked starts on pole in a Ferrari. Let's see what he can do here. Hallinan starts second. You got Will in third now, going up past New Squid, who's in a Mercedes for this race. And Wicked is going to hold on into turn 1 against Hallinan. Will's still there. Well, someone's had a bit of a nightmare there. I'm not entirely sure who, but Daxi drops to the back. We've got a few overtakes been made. DDK against Daxi in this race as well at the back of the grid. These two are going at each other, and Daxi is going to win that battle for now. We're going to go back to the front of the grid very quickly and see Hallinan on the inside of Wicked here, and Hallinan could not get control of the car enough to go down the inside and won't go down the inside during the chicane, which is smart. And there's a Mercedes that goes extremely deep back there as Mike goes deep again, and Mike is causing a yellow flag, and Mike is at the back of the grid. So Ferrari versus Red Bull at the start of this race, and the Ferrari will win lap 1. Wicked will go into lap 2 in the lead, provided he doesn't spin in the last couple of corners of this lap. Hallinan giving him a game. You got Will behind that. You see the other Red Bull in the picture. Here comes Hallinan on the inside of Wicked. Well, Wicked's going to win into the end of lap 1. Hallinan should be able to do something on the exit of the first corner. No, he won't. Actually, Will the game's going to go for him instead. And it's nothing changes at the front. Will couldn't get it done on the inside of turn 1. And Hallinan is now going after Wicked on the inside of turn 2. And he just is going to get squeezed out, and nothing happening at the front whatsoever. Jaguar getting past Noof as Jaguar goes up to 4th on the medium tyre. We've got Millsy, who just passed Rigo as well, who shouldn't be too far away from making a move on Noof, and there you go down the inside, makes it look very easy. Doesn't usually get much easier than that. Oh, that did not look extremely clean there from Riga. Looks a little bit all over the place. A little bit of nudging going on here between Boomer and Volcano. And Big Turns is now going to get by Boomer as a result of that. Boomer on the outside getting squeezed off a little bit. And Big Turns takes 9. And also, Hallinan and Will got past Wicked. And Wicked is now sitting in 3rd position with the 2 Red Bulls directly in front of him. And then Mildy sets the fastest lap of the race so far on the soft tyre. And then Mike on the 99. Damn. And you got Rigo versus Noof here. DRS has now been enabled. Also Mildy versus Jaguar in the foreground. And that is going to actually go in the way of the Alpine on the soft tyre. That's pretty good work there for Mildy. He's about to try another one. And Mildy is going to get on in front of Wicked there on the outside. And then Jaguar on the inside. Oh, Wicked's gone deep. Wicked has gone deep up, and he drops all the way to 6 now. Riga goes through as well. And it'll be Wicked versus Noof. Not that far behind the top 5. Volcano's still trying to find a way through. Same with Big Turns, Boomer and Mini Turns as well, all on the soft tyre. Daxi and DDK on the medium tyre, but they're 12th and 13th. Saeed and Mike at the back of the grid. Rigo about 5/10 of a second behind Jaguar in 4th. Closest battle on the grid right now is Volcano going the inside against Big Turns, is having to defend here, and then the outside, and Big Turns is going to make him pay. And Big Turns is up to 8th now. Volcano needs to get a move on, make some moves. I think Mini Turns might be about to make a move on Boomer, as we see the two Aston Martins going at it. And down the inside, Mini Turns on Boomer, and Mini Turns is going to make that stick. Big Turns has had a bit of a problem there. So Mini Turns, Daxi and Boomer all go past. Big Turns. He made an error on the outside of turn 1, and Daxi will also go past Boomer in the process, as they're still pretty much side by side right up until the sharp left-hand turn, and that will end that battle. Daxi will take 10th position. DDK lost out to Saeed in the last lap or so as well. DRS still there for the front 3. Jaguar losing a lot of time outside of DRS now, 1.5 seconds. Then you got Riga behind that, and Wicked is 3 seconds further back and effectively out of the top 5 in this race for the foreseeable future. As we watch in the foreground where Volcano is going after Noof. Can he get the long way round? He can, and finally gets the move done on Newsford, and now it should in turn be able to head towards Wicked. There's only 4 tenths ahead, but is also dropping off the back of Rigo quite substantially, and even off the back of Jaguar now actually, because Rigo has just got past him out of turn 1, down towards turn 2 and through to turn 3, and it is still Rigo that's ahead of Jaguar, and they're both on the medium tyre. They are losing time left, right and centre to the front 3, who should be trying to keep tabs on each other and looking how much they can build to the medium tyres. Noof is in 10th now as Miniturns and Daxi both get through, and Volcano did get past Wicked as well, up to 6th for him. Wicked is also now falling through the pack. There you go, on the inside does that chicane too much. Oh, Mike span! Mike span again, and here comes Daxi on the outside of Wicked, and that's pretty good work from the AlphaTauri. Up to 8th goes Daxi. So, as it stands, Hallinan has broke out DRS from Will. Are they going to go around the final corner? I don't know if he's going to get it or not. Noof is going to fight against Wicked here. Wicked's got the inside line, but Noof has gone deep. Noof has gone deep. He's lost out multiple, but he should lose out multiple positions. He will. Boom has gone into pit, and Noof has dropped to the back of the grid. And there's a spin. There's a Mercedes thrown across the track, and it's Mike again. Here comes Big Turns on the inside of Wicked as he goes through now and overtakes for an extra position as Big Turns now goes into the top 9. Wicked being the first of the double digits. Boomer's now gone on to the medium tyre on the end of lap 5. That's a bit deep there from Wicked, and that should open the door for Saeed, but it won't be ajar enough for Saeed to get past. And then DDK and Noof behind these two by a significant margin. So, only realistically 3 or 4 battles left on the grid. And there's a train at the front. Daxi versus the Miniturns in this battle we currently have on screen right now. DDK picks up 3 seconds for track limits. That is not good news for him. As we continue to watch, and Millsy pits. So Millsy into the pits. Rigo now takes up 3rd, and the 2 Red Bulls are in the distance now. 1.4 seconds split those 2. So we are very much in a position where everything is just going to go a little bit slower from now on, a little bit in a meander, until some people can find their way in and around other people and cause a little bit of drama. And here comes Saeed on Wicked on the outside. Is he going to get it? No, he is not. But he tries to switch back here, back to the outside for the following corner. And that did not stick. Wicked in his Ferrari versus Saeed in the Williams. And that is going to be advantage Wicked for a moment in time. Here comes Saeed to the inside. Tried again. Didn't get it. And DDK is going to try and look as well, but decides against going in the chicane, which is probably a smart move at the end of the day. And also in the period of a lap now, Rigo has gone from being a second back to pretty much right on the back of Will there, as Will and Hallinan both go into pit. And they are, well, Will is essentially going to get screwed over here because of the double stack. It's not like GT where both teammates can pit at the same time and avoid that. In F1, they're both pitting into the same pit box, and so they're better. One of them is getting screwed. Out one of them is Will, as Will drops down behind Millsy now. Should get out in a moment. Hallinan against DDK as well at this point in time. There's so 7 of the top 8, have not pit up to this point. 4 of which of those who haven't pit are on the medium tyres from the start. The one who hasn't pit that was on, the two people who haven't pit that were on soft were Mini 10 the Volcano. And Saeed also started to pit. He was on soft to start as well, but not in the top 8. We're currently looking through, and the closest battle we see on the grid right now is Mildy versus DDK. DDK's got the, well, actually Mildy got the overtake there. Down the inside against DDK, going into the final sector of the lap. That's usually not a good sight there for DDK. Volcano now into the pits after 8 laps on the medium tyres. So he's now looking to try and make something happen on the mediums. He was on the softs originally, sorry. 8 laps on the softs. He'll now look to do 10 on the mediums, see if he can get something to stick. Jaguar and Rigo at the front at the moment. Daxi sitting in third. Mini 10's behind them. Hallinen's the first guy that hasn't pit yet. That has pit, sorry. And is probably in the best position of everyone on the grid to win this race from here on out. About halfway into this one. We'll see where Rigo comes out in comparison when Rigo eventually pits off those medium tyres. But, yeah, also got Mildy here against Hallinan. These two have both pits, so it's just a case of whether or not Mildy can figure something out. Rigo is now in the pits off of his medium tyres. And it looks like everyone's trying to, well, the guys at the front are doing a 9-9 strategy. We're on the end of lap 9 now, as actually, I think we might be into lap 10, yeah. Yeah, into lap 10. Mildy's got the fastest lap of the race so far on the medium tyre. Looking to get his way through this one, through Hallinan, and into the lead of this race. So Rigo comes out. Rigo comes out, and he is ahead of Will. So Will costing him multiple positions, costing himself multiple positions with the double stack a couple of laps back. And gone from second to fourth, sorry. Hallinan's been in first from pretty much the start of this one. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to last against Mildy here. No one out yet. Mike's had a couple of spins. Moves to drop to the back as well. DDK now onto the soft tire, see how much he can take advantage of that. Wicked profit also from the lead at the start of this race all the way down into 11th at the moment. After all the pit stops have been made, Boomer up into 8th as well. You would think the guys on the soft tyres have probably got gonna get a good run sooner rather than later, and Daxi versus Volcano is the perfect description of that, as Daxi goes down the inside at the beginning of sector 3 and makes the move on Volcano, and now has to start making his way in the direction of Jaguar Fighter 4 seconds up the road. See if he can actually do that. Jaguar is trying to close in on Will in 4th. Rigo 5 seconds back on the front 2 as well. New picks up 3 seconds. That'll be mute because Mike is spinning everywhere he gets the chance. And it looked like Big Ten just got past Boomer. He did. That's pretty well done there by the Alfa Romeo. He keeps his position as well. Wicked has dropped a couple of positions. Wicked must have had a bit of a problem here. Actually, it's essentially a free wide, and Saeed's going to lose out to the Ferrari. Will the Ferrari get something on the Haas? No, he will not. Oh, Saeed's gone deep and hits Wicked with a little bit of a push to pass there. And Saeed just goes deep on his braking. Made Wicked pay, I guess, is the best way of saying that. Wicked goes deep in the following corner as well, which means that Wicked is having a bit more problems than he would like to let on right now. As we go back to the fight for the lead of this race, Mildy versus Hallinan. We're on lap 11 of 18. Safety cars can't happen in sprint, so there's nothing that can help Rigo and Will further back either. 18-0 there for Rigo as he tries to close the gap in, but he is closing it by about 0.6 of a second. That was a bit of a slide there from Mildy. He's going to lose a bit of time. A bit of time to Hallinan there as Hallinan stays in the lead of the race for as long as he can possibly muster. The Tier 1 driver not having much luck against Hallinan in this race. It's about 6/10 of a second still though, so any mistake from the Red Bull in the lead will turn into a Millsy win. Because Rigo is very much not going to... Rigo doesn't have enough time, I don't think, to catch these guys up before the softs start to die off. He is 3.4 though, he is going to get close. Jaguar also close on Will now, as well as 3.7 off the back of Rigo. That pit stop absolutely killed Will in this race. Millsy 7/10 of a second back now. He's losing time on Hallinan, not gaining it. Will gain it all back with the slipstream there at the end of the beginning of lap 13 here. Doesn't have enough to go for a move. Needs an incredible run. Doesn't get it. To try something there. Will versus Jaguars. Well, we're going to watch this now as those two come side by side through turn 1 down toward the through turn 2 now and into turn 3. And it's Jaguar that gets by against Will there. Oh, Rigo picks up 3. Oh no, Rigo, you cannot afford that. You were trying to catch up to the 2 in the lead. You were eating out their time, but that's 3 seconds tacked on, and quite frankly, a third place pretty much solidified for you in this one, Rigo. As Millsy is still trying to go after Hallinan, still failing miserably at this point in time. 4 battles going on. Well, one just disappeared as Jaguar is now 1.3 seconds ahead of Will, and that gap is not going to come down anytime soon. If anything, it's going to bring Will into the hands of Daxi, who's now within DRS range. Also, Hallinan has got more of a gap now. 8/10 of a second at the start of the straight, brings it down to 6/10 of a second at the end of the straight. Millsy is not able to stop Hallinan here. Albeit it's not equal car performance, and Red Bull have by far the best car. The Alpine's not exactly bad. It's just trying to see whether or not Millsy can put together a lap or two here, and right now he's not been able to. It's now 9/10 of a second playing Hallinan and Millsy. Hallinan's been under pressure for most of this race, whether it's been by Will, by Wicked, or by Millsy himself. See whether or not Hallinan can withstand that pressure for a little while longer. He's currently doing it with flying colours as we go to lap 4, on the end of lap 14, and now it's outside of DRS for Millsy, and Hallinan might be about to break the toe. He is. Hallinan's about to make this his race to lose. It's now 1.1 seconds, and there is no DRS now for Millsy, which is effectively a nail in the coffin of Millsy in this race. He needs Hallinan to start making minute errors, if not a full-blown spin. And also Rigo 1.8 now. He would have caught up by the end of this race if he hadn't got that 3-second time penalty in the process, which effectively renders him third. And Daxi is closing in right now on Will as well, as they're going up the hill now in the middle of sector 2. Daxi's going to try. He looked for it there into the chicane. Probably wise to not do that and get close enough so you can make a move, whether it be down into the end of the second sector here or down towards turn 1 on the next lap. 2/10 of a second DRS, that would definitely be enough to get a move done regardless. Probably good enough with just slipstream. And that almost ended disastrously there. Daxi went for a door that was closing rapidly. And that door did very much close on Daxi, which means he's going to hold on for now until they get down the straight here. And will hold on to this now. He might. Here comes Daxi on the inside. And Daxi, the inside line, should be able to make a good run coming out of turn 2. They're still side by side in turn 3. The outside line not favorable now. And Rigo, they're still side by side. Not Rigo, Daxi, sorry. Able to actually get a move on there and get past Will in the end. We've got a Mildy versus Rigo here as well. The Alpine drivers going after each other. 3 seconds penalty, remember, for Rigo, and that just proves that Rigo could have had a really good shot of winning this race had he not screwed up the track limits. He is very much squarely in third by the end of this one. We've got a couple of guys on the track right now that are going against each other. Will is still trying to hang on to the back of Daxi, albeit I can't imagine that one lasting all that much longer as he goes up over the 9/10 mark now. Here comes Rigo on the outside of Mildy. Can he get it done? No, he cannot. Chooses to not do a full send of it against Mildy here. And choosing self-preservation instead. Will is now 8/10 of a second behind Daxi, and Daxi should be able to hold on. If anything, Daxi should be in the direction of trying to pull away here. But he is not. Volcano 7th, sorry, but he is a substantial substantial marker away. And then the last gap is Noof to Wicked, and that's marred by a penalty as well. 1 lap 17 right now. We're about to go into the final lap of this race. Hallinan got the race under complete control at this point with 1 lap left to go. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, it should be his to lose.
Hungary traditionally hosts the last race of the Formula One and the second race. In 2020, however, due to a reamended calendar,
and we've got about 4/10 of a gap here between Mildy and Rigo. 3 seconds of penalties, remember, for Rigo, as Rigo is trying to get himself just a little bit further forward. I mean, it won't matter in the end, considering he will drop back to third after the penalty, and I don't think he'll be too complaining with a podium in a race that he didn't start towards the front. And in the Alpine. And we've got no one now within decent range that hasn't got a penalty. Mildy has managed to bring it back. It is now within a second between him and Hallinan, but it's too little, too late. So, Hallinan, with about 3 corners left to go on this lap, on the final lap of lap 18 of 18 here at Hungary, has a little bit of pressure on him not to make a mistake with 2 to go. But at the same time, he dealt with this like he dealt with the rest of the pressure, the rest of the race by multiple people. And in that Red Bull, Hallinan has gone and made it a crucial victory here at Hungary. And quite frankly, that was controlled the entire way through. Maybe under pressure from certain people, but never flinched once. And Hallinan gets a very, very, very welcomed win in sprint. And Mildy gets second, Rigo gets third. Saeed gets Jaguar gets 454. That was Saeed at the top of the screen. I have no idea what I'm reading at this point. Jaguar gets 4th, Daxi gets 5th, Will gets 6th, Volcano gets 7th, Big Turns 8th, Mini Turn 9th, Boomer gets 10th, DDK gets 11th, Saeed's going to get 12th, Wicked is going to get 13th, Noof is going to get 14th, and Mike is going to round out the back of the grid again. Mike is not usually one for good sprint finishes, apparently. as we are now done with the first race of the day. Wow. There's a lot of battling going on in that race. Just not a lot of, in terms of actual action. Everyone got close and then couldn't get a move to stick. The one that did had a significant pace advantage anyway. And now we get to watch the podium celebration here from the first race tonight. As we see two Alpines and a Red Bull on the podium. Hallinan with a very, very controlled drive in this one. And we've got Mexico next. We got a couple of minutes now in the split between Mexico and Hungary races. We just got a sort out the grid and everything else that goes along as well. Right. Yeah, so Mexico is going to be one of those. I feel like Mexico is going to be the opposite of what we just watched, where most of the people at Hungary couldn't get the DRS and everything to work for them down towards turn one, and we saw very little in terms of overtakes apart from the guys in terms of strategy just going onto the softs, passing the old mediums, for example. Mexico is just going to be how many overtakes can happen down towards turn one. That's all it's going to be. And I'm going to take a guess and say the answer is going to be a decent chunk. All right. Not got that much left to do for before. Well, they've got to reset the grid now before we go again for the second race of sprint. 18 laps in Mexico as well. But yeah, it's a lot less carnage than what I'm used to for sprint. I don't know. Usually there's a lot to talk about with a lot of incidents. There, no one DNF'd there. No one really did much of anything there, to be completely honest with you. We got 15 guys in the lobby for race 2 as well. We just got, yeah, Mexico. I don't know. I don't know when it comes to Mexico. I don't know where I stand because sometimes can be it's an interesting lap to do, maybe like a time trial round maybe, or a one shot qualifying, but actual racing around Mexico never usually goes well. It looks like we're pretty much ready to go. We've got about 6 seconds left on the clock, and then we go through. We'll have everyone pick their setups and all the strategies and everything like that. And then we will be up and running again. Yeah, we've got about 27 seconds before everyone loads back in, loads up. Well, latest as we are now, just waiting for mini turns to load into the lobby. We're just waiting for people to sort out their setups, everything, huh? Right, looks like we're getting ready to go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. I don't have any audio. And it's lights out, away we go here. And we're just waiting down towards turn 1, see what everyone's doing. Mike versus Noof is going on right now. Wicked is also trying to poke his nose through. And Mike is out. Mike is out already. Jesus Christ. That did not take long. DDK's also got a problem. Will's also off the track. What on earth has happened here at the start? Everyone is dying. Mike is out of the race entirely. DDK is out of the race entirely. Big turn to the 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. People are going deep there in turn 4. We've got a Boomer that's just lost out multiple positions here. I think he's about to lose out to another one as well. He's going against Daxi, and that's deep. That is very deep. That looks like a slide as well. Also, that Williams in the background, Volcano has no front wing. This is more the chaos that I'm used to with Sprint. We've got Hallinan versus Millsy in the background again. But they went a bit big in the first race. Here comes Hallinan. Oh, and Hallinan's been tagged by the Haas of Jaguar, and then Rigo tagged Jaguar as well in the back. And now Rigo and Jaguar are going at it. Oh, and that's a Williams. That's Saeed in the wall. No, Saeed is in the wall. Williams will be going into the pits. I think the other one will need to go to the pits now as well. Wow. Absolute carnage off the start. Nothing happening there. No one really getting anywhere there in the first corner. Saeed is out. And we're down 3 already, down to 12. Mini Turns is now in the lead, going against Wicked. And Wicked's going to get that position straight back as he quite effectively. Oh, and a little bit of a tag there by the Aston Martin, who gets a good line, a much better line than Wicked did, and was not expecting how poor Wicked's exit would be, and tagged him in the back, but somehow both cars still going without damage. And Daxy's in third right now. He's in a little bit of a world of his own. Noof in fourth has got big turns, and Mildy and Hallinan on the back of him. All the way down to 10th is in a little bit of a train as we got to see if someone can make a move here. No one goes for it. So we're down 3 drivers already. Volcano's gone onto the hard tyre. It looks like Noof is just having a bit of a problem on these exits. It also looks like Mildy is not having the greatest of exits either. And now he's got a Hallinan on his back. He had the entirety of Hungary as well. And now Hallinan, with that Red Bull, should be able to just dive down until that happens. And he tried to squeeze through the middle, maybe just to put his nose where he shouldn't have. And that's 2 more crashed. Big Turns doesn't have a front wing anymore. Yeah, he's lucky he's still in the race. Rigo's in the pits. I'm not entirely sure why he went into the pits. He might have had damage and had to put on the hards. There's a partial missing front wing there on Noof's car as well. And then, yeah, that's not good news. Hallinan also has a broken front wing in this race, as well as trying to get by, and will get by. And now we've got 3 more guys that have to pit at the end of this lap, and probably put on the hard tyre as well. Probably Wicked gets 3 seconds for track limits, and he was in the lead of the race. That is incredibly unfortunate there for Wicked, and now he has to build a gap. A gap that he isn't going to get the chance to build, because he got Mini-10 and Daxi right on the back of him. Hallinan, the first one into the pits there. We're going to go to the front now and see if anything crazy is going to happen here. The answer is no, because Mini-10 doesn't go for it. Here we go, yellow flag in sector 2. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Rigo? That is Rigo that span. That might be the end of Rigo's day. As he is just not getting very away with much there. Oh, Wicked go deep again. And considering he's already on 3 seconds, he might want to be much more careful about that than he has been at the start of this race. On lap 4 of 18, we've already had 3 people DNF. An extra 4 crash, or 5 crash at this point as well. All taking early pit stops. Here comes Mini versus Daxi. They're going to go around here against each other here into the beginning of the 3rd sector. And Daxi gets the move done on Mini turns as Daxi looks to square this one away. Bear in mind, Daxi is the leader of, the race now as he goes to the inside against Wicked. And gets it done pretty early. He might have to defend down the straight now, and Mini turns behind as well. It's really Daxi versus Mini turns. Wicked has a 3-second time penalty. One that he's going to have to hold on to, because Wicked is now getting overtaken here by Mini turns, and it's Tier 1 Daxi versus Tier 1 Mini turns, now 1 and 2 in this race. Is Wicked going to go for something here down the inside against Mini turns? I mean, he is, but he's also going to be extremely respectful and doesn't go causing too much trouble there for Mini turns, who is now immediately out of the DRS range of Daxi's AlphaTauri, who should be, in theory, gone. Got a couple other guys in the midfield here that are very widely spread out. Volcano is also going to have to go after Hallinan sooner rather than later. But for now, top 4, first and second split by 1.7, and the rest closing in the wolves on Mini turns and at the moment. And Wicked has 3-second time penalty, and now outside of the DRS range as well. As we see Mildy in the background trying to go for this. and should be rather effective in going for this. And down towards turn 1, Wicked holds on. Wicked holds on in this race against Mildy. See how long Wicked can hold on for. Here comes Mildy down the straight. On the outside now against Wicked. And it looks like Mildy is going to try a switch back. And with the outside line, that's never going to work. As Will is just holding on for dear life right now. We've had 5 guys that have crashed and had to take their stops. 3 guys that crashed and DNF from the race entirely. Half the grid have already taken a hit in some form or another. And that was a little bit of contact there between Wicked and Mildy, as Wicked just breaks so much earlier than necessary, and Jaguar now been brought into the fight as a result. And Wicked gets 3 more for track limits again. Wicked in 5th, has 6 seconds worth of time penalties and is now behind Jaguar, who got him on the inside there. Boomer also going to go looking for this sooner rather than later. Wicked trying to go against Jaguar again, trying to fight back immediately. Down the straight, does fight back immediately and holds off Jaguar's advances for just a little while longer, as Boomer is now really close on the back of these two. Never mind, the top 7 haven't pit. Everyone else has. Hallinan currently 2.5 seconds ahead of Volcano. That's more the tyres doing their work here for Hallinan. See if they're good enough at the end of this race to hold on. Jaguar is getting really close here to Wicked as well, as Mildy is very much gone in the distance. He's, Mildy 1.6 seconds in the distance now, but he is 2.8 seconds behind mini turns. And deep for Wicked here. And Boomer's going to go against Jaguar on the inside and he tags Wicked in the process. Boomer went for a move on Jaguar in the Haas and tagged Wicked in the process. Mildy and Mini go into the pits. That was not good from Boomer whatsoever, and now Will's going to go on through. And so will Wicked. I think that was more Boomer giving that position back on purpose. That was an attempted move on Jaguar, and it just caught Wicked in the crossfire and tagged him, sent him round. It looks like, that did not look good in the background either. A little bit more contact from Wicked and Boomer by the looks of things here. And Boomer's got the outside. There is a yellow flag. I think that is Rigo again. Yeah, it's Rigo. Rigo having a bit of a problem there down the home straight. Not sure how long he's got left in it before he decides to call it quits for the day. 1 lap 8 so far. And Daxi now comes into the pit. So, where is Daxi going to be in respect of Mini Turns' position? Bear in mind, Mini Turns was the first one to pit here. Wicked currently in 4th, Boomer up into 3rd. Boomer's going to have to go at Will sooner rather than later in this race. But it won't be down this straight this time. We go on to lap 9. And the answer is Daxi is going to come out in the lead of this race. That is good news for Daxi, who is now 3.5 seconds. I don't know how that's 3.5 seconds clear of Mini Turns, who currently sits in net P2. Mildy not that far back now in net P3. And the top 4 still have to pit in this race before the end of it. as we start to approach halfway in this race. Actually, not that far away from halfway in this race because we're about to finish lap 9, and that would signify halfway as Jaguar is now coming through the stadium section in Mexico. See what is going to realistically happen here. We've got Mildy and we've got mini turns, and those are the two closest battles. This is the closest battle on the grid at the moment. And there's pits for the first 4 drivers. Jaguar, Will, Boomer and Wicked all into the pits now then. Let's see what comes about from it. Jaguar out ahead of Will, and Boomer not that far back. He's ever so slightly behind him. Hallinan starting to make his way through the grid as well, back up into 4th after the incident earlier on. Probably going to get penalised for it as well. I don't think people will be too happy with him as a result of that incident happening in turn 1. So, Daxi for 4 seconds ahead of Mildy, who got by mini turns with the use of DRS in the first corner here on this lap. And Mildy going to have to go right after Daxi for the next 8-9 laps of this race. The mini turns is already outside of DRS. Boomer close to Will at this point in time. And now we only have one battle that's within DRS for the entire grid, and this is Boomer versus Will. Currently on the screen now. Daxi now sets us 19.2 as the fastest lap of the race so far. Let's see if Boomer can get past Will fairly quickly here, and see if he can go after Jaguar after that. You know, Volcano not that far behind these lot, but also on the hard tyres, so it kind of negates his attempts at this point in time. Boomer's going to have the DRS, and he's going to have, yep, well, he's not going to have it this time round, but he is going to put himself in a very good position to get it the next time round. We've still got to, I just put my phone on charge very quickly. We've got a couple of battles going on now. As Hallinan versus Jaguar is about to unfold. Boomer versus Will has been unfolding for the last couple of laps. That will probably come to a head at the end of the next lap, and so will this actually, because Jaguar is starting to reel off a little bit of the time. Is actually right on the back of that Red Bull driver in front of him. Both Red Bull drivers of the day are currently under fire by quite some distance, and the DRS is actually activated in this little straight here, but it's not enough for Jaguar to try and make a move or even attempt the move here. As he goes through the stadium section now, if you can get within about 0.6 of a second coming out of it, you definitely will get the position off of Hallinan. And it looked like he's done that comfortably. Yep, and here comes the DRS. He's got the slipstream. In comes the DRS, and this should be easy, easy work for Jaguar here. And going down to the first corner, it definitely is. A little bit harder than it first appeared to be for Jaguar, but he does have the position on Hallinan nonetheless, who's about to lose multiple positions as well from Will, and then Boomer behind that. Bear in mind, Hallinan's on 8-lap old mediums compared to the 2-lap softs that are currently on the cars on both the Red Bull and the Aston Martin behind him. As of right now, we're on lap 12. Daxi has a 5-second advantage, so that's essentially game, set, match without a mistake. Mini turns a further 2.7 seconds behind Mildy. No real fight back from him after that move. Jaguar nearly 6 seconds behind mini turns, and he's going to need to get a move on a second a lap realistically over mini turns just to get in the position to possibly catch up to him, never mind overtake mini turns in this race. Will also trying to go after Hallinan here, and probably will do with quite some ease. They're currently a tenth between each other. I'm not sure why you would go on the outside. heading down the straight, but if you're going to get the move done very early on, then it kind of indicates it. As we currently have Hallinan on the back of Will now, as Will moves up into 5th. And then you've got Boomer and Hallinan that will soon have a battle down this straight. Maybe Boomer goes right now. No, he does not. He decides to back out of it, knowing that he might already have a little bit of trouble coming his way after tagging Wicked earlier on. Volcano still in 8th. He's realistically in no man's land at the moment. Wicked in 9th with a penalty. It's 3 seconds further back. Boomer is really close to Hallinan right now. Well, Will and Jaguar are very much clear, and also both not in DRS of any of the guys in front of them either, because Will has just dropped out of that 1 second gap. Daxi still in complete control of this race with 4 to go. We've still only lost the 3 we lost in lap 1 and 2. The crashes from everyone 8th backwards, and technically Hallinan, if you want to call it that, class him in it as well. Didn't have to pit, but he did. Actually, no, he did have to pit in the race, and there goes Boomer on the inside, and now all of the back 6 have had to pit early in this race, apart from Wicked. And yeah, it's starting to show. Bit further forward though, Daxi's lost half a second in the last half a lap. And as Mildy is starting to claw a little bit of the time back, but it's not a lot, and is currently losing it all back as we speak. You know, Mini turns 3.7 seconds further back. They're not really going anywhere anytime soon. Same with Jaguar, 4.7 seconds in 4th place, as Will is starting to catch to him rather than anything else happening further forward. Boomer is clear of Hallinan now, 1.3 seconds between 6th and 7th. Will also very much clear of Boomer, 1.8 seconds at the point in time. But yeah, it's whether or not Will. Okay. Apologies. I was about to say whether or not Will. Oh, that did not look good. Hallinan sliding his car. Whether or not Will is going to be able to catch Jaguar, but then Will, on his way to catch Jaguar, picked up 3 seconds, so that effectively nails that one dead. Noof also picked up 3 seconds, albeit it's a mute point. Rigo's a bit too far back and has a penalty himself. And they're actually going to go side by side here, Jaguar and Will. Will on the outside here against Jaguar on the inside in the Haas, and Will's going to win the battle to start with, but is he going to be able to win the battle and then pile on 3 seconds? There's 4 laps. I very much doubt it, especially when DRS is still very much a thing, so he's realistically got a lap to get out of that before this turns into just a back and forth between the two of them. He's only got 0.6 of a second at this point in time. And at this point in time, 0.7 of a second is still realistically not enough to put Jaguar to bed as he goes down into the beginning of the 3rd sector, now the stadium section of the race, and it doesn't really look like he's going to be able to get that second gap, and that says stadium section was quite kind of Jaguar, who found an extra 0.2, and now it's within 0.6 of a second, so if anything it's questioning whether or not Jaguar has got enough in the tank here to actually get by Will once again, or whether he even wants to get by Will again, because he is not going to catch the guy in front, but will get the position on Will regardless. And Jaguar decides to back out, back against it. We've also got another 3 seconds there for Wicked. In this one, currently in 9th place. Let's say I think he's on 9 seconds worth of penalties as well. He is, but Big Turn's on 10, so that's also another entirely mute point. Everyone realistically nowhere near each other apart from Jaguar and Will here. And there's no incentive whatsoever for Jaguar to make a move that might endanger the two of them. And then we're going through lap 17 now. Daxi's in the lead, 7.3 seconds, and it's realistically been a foregone conclusion from almost the very beginning that Daxi is going to have this one under control. He has had this one under control since he overtook Wicked early in this race. And is now 7 seconds ahead of Millsy in second, who never really put up a fight. Mini turns further, 4.4 further back. He is very much in a little world of his own as well, given that Will is another 3 seconds further back on top of that 4.5. So it's looking like he can't really do it. Doesn't look like much of anything is happening here. When it comes to this race, there's no incentive for Jaguar to go by. Boomer's not close enough, so if I was Jaguar, I'd just take what I can get. But until that point, here comes Daxi round the stadium section, round the final corner, and in what was an unchallenged race, wins comfortably. Wait, it's not the last lap. Oh wow! Oh, I thought I was lap. Why was I thinking that was lap 18? Why was I thinking that was lap 18? I have no idea why. I'm not with it today, apparently. I apparently also can't read. Jumped the gun 1 lap too early. It's going to be the same foregone conclusion, though, between Daxi and Millsy here. Mini turns 5 seconds back. And Boomer didn't really get a good last sector either. It does have DRS, but nothing really to do with it. And Jaguar will finally make the move on Will. And, I mean, either way, it isn't really going to do an awful lot. Will has a 3-second time penalty that isn't going to get removed, and that usually is what that will keep Will behind Jaguar regardless of the final lap here. It will put him behind Boomer as well regardless of the final lap here. And everything's going smoothly as it stands. 8.3 seconds the gap now for Daxi. Made it even bigger. And, well, there's the pyro going off in the stadium section. Rigo just set the fastest lap of the entire race, but Daxi's going to come round the final corner, and this time it's an unchallenged race for Daxi, and he will win in Mexico on this lap. It may have gone 1 lap earlier this last time, but this time he is very much in the business of getting things done and not really having a problem doing it. Mildy gets second, Mini Turns gets third, Jaguar will go over the line fourth, Boomer will get fifth. Will get 6th because there's no one in a half-mile radius that can catch him. Hallinan gets 7th. Volcano will get 8th after a half-decent recovery drive from him, given everything that happened lap 1. Wicked will get 9th. His penalties were just mute. An entire mute point because of everyone else's penalties that's behind him. Big Turns may have 10 seconds himself, but again, there's no real thing that can actually hurt him here. And that's Noof that's decided to take a little bit of a slide through the second to last corner in this race and gets a warning especially for it, and goes around the final corner now and beats Rigo out for 11th, and Rigo will end 12th after doing a donut in the stadium section in the final lap. And that is essentially the final bit of racing we see for the day. That is both sprint races done. One at Hungary, one at Mexico. Rigo retired from the session. There you go. Well, that is how you end it. Daxi winning by a very comfortable margin, and no one really challenged at the top, at the front of this one at all. And there you go. That's the end of the day there. Daxi wins out in the final race of the day. Millsy second. Mini rounds off the podium. It's been a decent day in sprint. But for now, if that's all we've got racing-wise for you, there'll be a ton of GT comms going off throughout the week because that season started again. But for now, I'll see you guys on Sunday night in a bit.